you're already nervous because you think you might have cancer, and I quell the tension by putting my finger in your ass for 15 minutes.
Yes, that's really...
Or actually, I could slide a tube up inside you and watch it on TV as it navigates its way through the fecal matter and the potentially malignant polyps of your colon.
Gavin, look, I'm eating.
You gotta wonder, what was I thinking in med school, Oh, man, hands up everybody who wants to dedicate their life to the rectum. Anyone? No, see, nothing. I should have been a plastic surgeon, spent my days constructing women's breasts.
You know how on the phone I told you I wanted to discuss your defense strategy? I'm wondering why you don't seem interested.
Well, because I don't care. Losing everything was the best thing that's ever happened to me. I love my life now. My tiny apartment on Broadview Avenue, taking public transit everywhere I go, meeting fascinating people. People with real problems, not like me.
What are you doing for money?
Okay, just for convenience sake, I give my bookie free prostate exam in his office. He extends my credit.
What happened to... Weren't you attending some meetings of some kind?
Gamblers Anonymous. Yeah, no, not anymore. No, it's too depressing a place for anybody with perspective, I mean, those people, they genuinely feel sorry for themselves.
It's an addiction, Gavin.
I mean, there's addictions and there's addictions. I'm fine.
Which means what? You're not betting heavily anymore?
No, it means I'm betting smarter. Whoa, look. Is she gonna be there?
Well, she's testifying against you.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Ooh, I guess she's still angry she didn't get the jackpot divorce from me, huh?
Well, that or the fact that you gambled away everything you own.
Speaking of divorce, I hear you're getting one, right?
Yeah, you say that like it's a gift or something. It's not. It's a terribly devastating wound.
Actually,
to
that new guy she's going on with, Charlie somebody, I hear he's loaded. When it comes his turn, she can get the divorce she wants from him. What? What? Is it something I said?
Does it really take 15 minutes?
What?
Your finger, does it really have to be up there that long?
Well, it does if you want to get any fun out of it.
I've had this weird feeling in my bowel lately, like it's never completely empty. My doctor says that it could be stress.
Oh, yeah. You should get that looked at. We go back into the restaurant now, in the bathroom, and I'll do that for you. Instead of your fee. Oh, you can do that right now. I got the glove. We're ready to go.
What is that? Part of your Porta-Probe kit? I'll pass. Thank you very much.
Sure, huh? It's not a problem. I don't mind doing it.
No, that's fine.
Anybody else? I'm off duty. It's a freebie.
Oh, for God's sake, Gavin.
Sorry, excuse me. Jesus, Brian, you were supposed to be here half an hour ago.
Been looking for Donna. She didn't come home last night.
Home? What home? Are you staying with her under the garden?
I couldn't leave her alone.
You're not supposed to be anywhere near her.
Yeah, because of something that didn't even fucking happen. I didn't hit her, so I shouldn't have to stay away from her.
Yeah, no, it's a court order, Brian. They expect you to obey it.
They don't know what it's like for her when I'm not around. She gets beaten up, raped. One guy, he likes to torture her. She needs me.
Not as much as she needs her next fix, though, eh? Where is she? She knew we needed her to testify today, and she doesn't care. She doesn't care, Brian, not about herself and not about you either.
Look, I gotta go look for her.
Ugh, listen to me. You have been sober for almost 6 months. You are this close to having a normal life, and you keep letting her drag you back down.
No, it's not like that. It's my choice. Look, I gotta go look for her.
No, you don't. You have to think about yourself here for just... Come in with me and help me keep you out of jail.
I shouldn't have been arrested in the first place. But technically, I wasn't even there.
So you weren't in the park?
I was just outside of the park. If they're saying it all went down in the park, then technically, that leaves me out of it.
Me too.
No, you were in the park.
Yeah, but as a tourist.
A tourist?
Yeah, I'm from New Brunswick.
She's my aunt.
What are you talking about? You're my aunt.
No way, you're my dad's sister.
Except I'm not. I'm your dad's cousin's daughter, which makes you my aunt.
But,
huh?
What? No, it doesn't.
Her great aunt?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Jesus, great aunt? What do you think of that?
Nothing. I think nothing of that. Margie, don't you think you should get your own lawyer?
What for? I wasn't doing anything. I was just standing there.
Yeah, me too. And I was outside of the park. So if it comes to
it, they'll give a tourist the benefit. With all that SARS stuff, they want to be nice to tourists.
So even with their drug traffickers? No. I don't think so. You know what, Margie? I think you should probably get your own counsel. That would be better. And actually, you know what? I'm really busy, so maybe you could get your own lawyer, too.
You know, when you think about it, in a certain way, we're both innocent.
Please?
I mean, I thought she was looking out for the guy behind me, and she thought I was looking out for the guy behind her.
Right, yeah, and the guy behind you, and the guy behind her. her, we're both drug dealers.
What's that matter?
Yeah, especially since neither of us was actually doing any looking out.
We were both just standing there.
Okay.
Okay, what?
Just, okay. So what do you want me to do about this possession charge?
Well, technically, nothing.
Wait, they found 0.2 grams of crack cocaine on you.
That wasn't mine, that was hers.
Oh, and I suppose the drugs they found on you were hers, right?
Yeah, well, you know, like I didn't even know they were drugs. She just said to me, here, hold this.
Which is exactly what she said to me.
Yeah, I just thought it was like candy or something like that.
Yeah, I had a similar belief. So, you know, technically, we don't even have to deal with that possession charge, right?
Okay.
Okay, what?
Just okay again. Yeah.
What are you doing?
Technically, I'm leaving.
He'll be back.
Well, I don't even think we need him. I think we got a really strong case.
I dealt with Dr. Brooks for about 5 years. He was one of my best customers. Things started to go badly about 2 years ago when he applied for an unsecured line of credit in the amount of $200,000. We don't normally advance that much money without taking security, but...
But you, what, liked his smile? I mean, it is a terrific smile, isn't it? Enjoying yourself, Dr. Brooks?
So far, yes. Thank you very much for asking.
Oh, yeah, he's a real charmer. I'd loan him 200 grand, no problem.
Well, I knew about his house on Warren Road, his farm in Caledon. His real estate assets alone were worth $2 million.
And what happened with the line of credit?
At first, he just missed a few payments. I'd remind him, and he'd remit right away. Then he asked that the line be increased by $120,000 because his wife was buying a car.
A car, not a Winnebago.
Excuse me?
Well, if you're paying over $100,000 for something, you ought to be able to live in it, right?
So, did you extend his credit?
Yes, and shortly after that, he defaulted completely. I learned that he'd taken a new mortgage on the house with another bank, sold the farm, and liquidated almost all of his savings. And I don't think there ever was a car.
No Mercedes, no farm, no savings. But look, he's still smiling.
You don't work for the bank anymore, do you, sir?
Objection.
Mr. Matsui was fired because of his poor due diligence on these loans. If he had done his job properly, Dr. Brooks would not be in this mess.
You mean if you'd caught Dr. Brooks and his lies?
They weren't lies, they were omissions.
Oh, come on.
Mr. Matsui, since you failed to properly investigate the state of Dr. Brooks' assets, wouldn't it be more accurate to characterize these transactions as bad loans as opposed to fraud?
No, he knew what he was doing.
You still look pretty happy there, Dr. Brooks. No remorse at all over the fact that this man lost his job because of you?
I had every intention of paying him back, Your Honor. I just need a little run of good luck. That's all I really...
Your Honor, if you don't mind, could you stop addressing my client directly? It probably makes him nervous and prone...
Really? I thought he was enjoying the repartee. Is that smile just a manifestation of nerves, Dr. Brooks?
Oh, probably, Your Honor. But I could try and get rid of it if it bothers you.
Yeah, do that.
No, but I've got a trial. I've got a witness who hasn't shown up
No,
yet.
you don't understand. I developed an allergy to the woman.
Oh, come on.
Honest to God, it's like an emotional allergy. I was talking to her, and I started to get this pain in my head and a throbbing, a stabbing in my eye, and I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm having a stroke, maybe.
Hi, thanks.
Look, she is a real pain in the ass, but I don't know, I think you still might like her.
What? Why?
Well, you like Nancy.
Nancy is not a drug addict thief.
I know, but listen, it's just that I think you can relate to difficult people better than I can.
Really?
Probably because of my ADD.
Your what?
My what? My attention deficit disorder. I've been diagnosed.
By whom?
James.
James told you that you've got ADD?
And I bought a book. Listen, this client, you don't have to worry about it. She'll just talk, and then the judge throws her in jail. That's how it works, okay? Thank you so much, because it's because of my eye. And by the way, see, I almost forgot. See, there's two of them.
Wait, hey, what? What? I don't want a lawyer.
Where's Elliot?
He has an eye ache.
Is that serious?
I don't know.
So if that's serious and something happens to him, then I think you should know that he owes me money from a long time ago. $300. Will you be able to get that for me?
No. You'll have to get that from his estate.
Well, that can be a bitch. Couldn't you just write me a check on his behalf?
I'll tell you what. If he dies, I'll make sure you get what you deserve. In the meantime, Elliot said you wanted to plead.
Plead to what?
Well, I'll talk to the Crown, and I can probably get him to drop the trafficking charge, and you'll just have to plead to possession.
Possession of what?
Crack. 0.2 grams of crack found in both your pockets.
Okay, first off, are they sure it was crack? Because sometimes they forget to test it, and then they lose it, and they can't test it. So where's their case then, right?
They tested it. It was crack.
Okay, so what I'm thinking now is, maybe one of us should plead, and the other one should say she didn't know what was going on, which I didn't.
Except you did.
So how come when she said you want to plead, I said plead to what? And she said possession, and I said possession of what?
Are you trying to screw me here? Because if you are, there's going to be consequences.
We want to talk about consequences? Maybe one of us has to go to jail so the other one can get out and pay the rent on her room, or else she's going to get evicted. And then where's her cousin or niece or whoever the fuck you are going to stay? Oh. So is that the strategy we're going with then, or not?
Not. Because I can say I didn't know too, because you know what? I didn't. You made me come along, and there's a serious legal question about whether I even knew where to. And I certainly didn't know the purpose.
Except that you did.
Which is what you say, but I say you did and I didn't, which puts us right back where we were before you decided to screw me.
Hey, so I'll just tell the Crown that you both plead to possession?
Only if I can do all the talking.
Oh, sure, yeah, you can do all the talking, except for when I'm talking.
Shut it. Margaret, shut it. You can't let her say anything in there, all right?
See you in court.
Look, we don't need her right away. If she's not here when it's time to testify, then I'll try to get an adjournment, or I'll ask for a material witness warrant.
You mean they'll arrest her? No, I can testify for myself. They don't believe me, fuck it.
No, then the Crown's gonna ask you about your record. It's a bad idea, believe me.
Jesus, where the hell you been?
You're hurting me.
Where you been? Not until she tells me what she's been up
I
to.
have to tell you nothing. You get your fucking hands off me.
You're high, aren't you? Oh, for Christ's sakes, Donna,
What's
couldn't
your
you just this
problem?
once...
I'm here, aren't I? You know what? Just go inside, please. I need to talk to her out here for a minute.
Can she come in too?
Not until it's her time to testify.
She'll be out here alone. What if she decides to run off?
Yeah, well, I can't chain her to a bench, can I? What are you thinking?
Took a little something, so fucking what?
So when I put you on the stand, you need to make sense. Is your head clear enough to do that?
Sure, no problem. You got any money? I didn't have anything to eat.
Yeah, I've got a granola bar.
It's a goddamn granola bar. I'm gonna get myself a sandwich.
Sure. All right, I'll give you $20 after you testify. And then you can go get something to eat or something to put in your veins. Your choice. In the meantime, please, just sit, okay? Sit and wait.
Yes, ma'am.
We'll keep an eye on her if you want.
Sure. I think she'll be okay.
So you'll just have to sign the counsel sheet for me.
What are we doing? We're just, clearly you need some fresh air to start thinking straight, okay? So just, these are very serious charges, all right? Robbery, possession of a firearm, assault causing bodily harm. Just do me a favor, all right? Just take a few deep breaths, and then you explain to me again why you want to change your mind.
I want to plead.
Why, Floyd? Why would you want to do that?
Because I did it.
But the Crown's got a very weak case against you. It was a dark nightclub, right? The victim probably didn't even see you, and you got two witnesses, man. Who said that you weren't even near this guy when he was attacked.
Yeah, and they lied.
Oh, they're both lying now? Oh, right. The bartender who said that she was serving you when this fight broke out, and then your buddy, what was his name?
Gilbert.
Gilbert, who corroborates her story. They're both lying?
The bartender, Charisse, is Gilbert's cousin.
Okay.
She lied because he lied, and she didn't want him getting into trouble.
Right.
And Gilbert lied because he's my friend. So now I'm taking the heat off them by doing the right thing.
By going to jail?
If I have to.
Well, yeah, you're going to have to. All right. I'm just having trouble buying... Listen, you can tell me what's really going on here, Floyd.
I don't know what you're talking about, and don't call me Floyd, okay? My name is Juice E. Okay. I've told you that maybe 30 times, so why won't you call me?
Because Juicy is a brand of gum, it's not a person, and...
It's my name.
Well, it's a stupid name.
You can't tell me I've got a stupid name.
Oh, okay.
You've got a stupid name.
Right.
Elliot?
Yeah.
Now that's a motherfucking stupid name.
Okay, calm down. Okay, if that's what you want me to call you, then I will, okay? So, Juicy, when
Juicy, okay? Juice E.
Yeah, okay. When we first spoke, you swore to me you had nothing to do with this. You remember? I mean, you were, your CD was coming out, you couldn't believe this was happening to you. I mean, any of this sound familiar to you?
Look, I just want to do the right thing, so would you do your job and follow my instructions?
Hey, you know what? I'm your lawyer, all right? I'm not one of your crew, okay? I don't follow instructions, especially not dumb ones. Hey, listen, if this is a gang thing, hang on, and you're being coerced to take the rap for something that somebody else did, I can get you protection, okay? We just have to go to a Crown and...
Gang thing?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Look, I just want to stand up and be a man. I made a mistake. I can admit to it. Look, I'm sorry if I lied to you, but we got to get this thing moving so I can do my time and get it over with.
You're not going to get any kind of special treatment in the Dawn because you happen to be a rapper, okay? And if this thing is gang-related, you got half the gang members in this city are all locked up in that place fighting for control. I mean, guys are getting raped, beaten, stabbed, bullied. Did I say raped already?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so, just as long as you know what you're getting into, okay? Because even your name, Juicy, to some people that may sound inviting.
Had you seen Mr. Perot before the night of the assault?
Yes. He's one of the native guys who hang around the street corner, drinking, bumming change. It's a real problem. My daughter came home with her boyfriend one night, and they got harassed pretty bad. So bad. Her boyfriend
Objection.
was punched.
That anecdote has nothing to do with the matter before the court.
Are you sure? I mean, he didn't get a chance to finish it.
I was just trying to tell you what's been going on around here.
Of course you were.
Well, why don't we let him tell us what was going on the night in question?
They just want the hard, brutal facts, Mr. Sanchez.
Well, they were in the parkade, across the street from our building this time.
When you say they?
Natives. 6 of them. 5 men and 1 woman, drinking and carrying on really loudly. I used to yell for them to shut up when they did that stuff, but all I ever got back was just a lot of profanity. So I just went to bed. Then around 2:30, I hear a woman screaming and crying. I went to look out of my window, and I saw him kicking her. He was kicking her and punching her.
And was the woman doing anything?
No. No, she wasn't even trying to defend herself. She must have been high or drunk or something. I yelled at him to stop, but he wouldn't even slow down. And the other guys, well, they weren't going to help her. They were all wasted. So I called the police.
It was a pretty severe beating you witnessed that night.
Oh, yes.
Maybe you should have done something to stop it?
I called the police, no?
No, I mean something more hands-on.
What is this? She's going to spend her time with a witness chastising him for not intervening in a more manly fashion?
Well, if he'd actually taken the time to go down there, he might have seen that it wasn't my client beating the woman.
Mr. Ray.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, but... Okay. So, were you frequently disturbed by rowdy people in the park?
Well, they built a new native center up the street, and it does a lot of good work, I suppose, but it attracts them like flies.
And Mr. Perot was one of these flies?
Like I said, he hung around there.
It's usually pretty dark around 2 in the morning. That didn't make it difficult for you to see that it was actually my client doing all that kicking and punching?
No.
Or that there were, in fact, all native people in the park?
No one else goes in there at night.
Why is that? They're afraid of being scalped? You don't actually like native people, do you?
Your Honor...
It's the defense position that my client was arrested because he was the only native man on the scene when the police arrived, and that they were acting on information from Mr. Sanchez which was based on racial bias and not on actual identification.
I'm just fed up. Tired of them living on handouts, not working and drinking in public, throwing up.
Yeah, they're lazy and drunkards. I mean, you see them on the news sniffing glue. They're a menace. We should just get rid of them all, send them back to where they came from. Hey, wait, they're from here.
Your Honor.
You're out of line, counsel.
I'm not saying get rid of them. I just think that there is a point where they should stop feeling sorry for themselves and start...
Maybe the real problem is that we don't care about them at all. We just let them live on the streets and under bridges, and then we hand-deliver them food and blankets. It's like we've just given up on them altogether. Or what's worse, we've encouraged them to give up on themselves.
Mr. Ray, are you finished?
Yes, Your Honor.
I was just about to take out a stopwatch. Does she still get to make submissions at the end? Because I don't think that's fair.
Marcus, my guy should have never been charged with possession of a firearm.
The complainant was pistol whipped.
But they never found a gun.
Well, that's true. So why would they charge him with it then?
To make him look bad, so you'd be harder on him, that's why.
They do that?
Oh, yeah. Look, how about this? How about he pleads to the assault and you agree to a 1-year conditional sentence? How's that?
I don't think that sounds right.
Why?
He was charged with assault causing bodily harm and robbery.
Yeah.
Robbery is theft with violence.
Yeah, no, I know.
Well, I can't just agree to...
Okay. Sorry for interrupting, but how about this? How can you agree to a 2-year conditional sentence and then he pleads to the assault causing bodily harm?
The complainant's nose was broken and he had to have 18 stitches put in his chin. I think your client needs to go to jail.
Why?
Because jail's where we put people for doing things like that.
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't think... No. I don't think that he did it, though. That's why.
So why does he want to plead guilty?
Because I think that this is gang-related. That's why. I think that, he's going to take the rap and then they're going to go off scot-free because... These guys both have extensive records, right? And my guy's got like 1 juvenile entry.
For extortion.
Come on, it was a lark. He walked into a variety store and he threatened the owner, you give me $300 a week or I'm going to trash this place. Come on, how seriously can you take something like that?
He got caught trying to collect his first payment.
Yeah, okay, that's true. But you know what the thing is? I think he was being threatened then too, right? Because his friends knew that he was a young offender and so that his punishment wasn't going to be as bad.
And that's what you think is happening here?
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's what I think is happening here, yeah.
So your client is in this gang?
No, he's not in a gang, right? He's he's being
It's my
pressured.
coffee.
Oh, yeah, sorry. He's being pressured by a gang, right? 'Cause I think that they've threatened him.
So, you can't let him plead guilty, can you?
Well, what choice do I have? That's what he wants to do.
And I have to ask for jail time.
Okay, how much, though?
How much do you think?
Well, not much considering he's probably not guilty.
3 to 6 months.
Okay, hang on, 3 to 6. That gets him out by summertime, so he can still have time to promote his CD, if he survives.
CD,
right?
eh?
Well, yeah.
Is that any good?
Well, dunk. You can judge for yourself. I don't know. You like rap music?
Word!
What?
Juicy.
You didn't know about your husband's gambling problem.
Not until it was too late. I picked up the phone one day and it was the bank telling me they were foreclosing on our house. And we'd paid off our mortgage years ago, so I just figured it was a mistake. But it wasn't. He'd taken out a second mortgage and lost all of it betting on football.
Notice the way she said football? Like it would have been better if I lost the money betting on tennis or something like that. Look at the odds on the Knicks.
Then what happened?
We moved into an apartment. We had to sell all our furniture. We had to take the kids out of private school. It was humiliating.
Yeah, what part?
I'm sorry?
Was it more humiliating dumping the furniture or the private school? Oh, forget it. I'm sure it was all torture.
Did you try getting him help?
He didn't want help. He just wanted to gamble. He sold our china, our silver, my jewelry. He even sold my wedding dress. Talk about pathetic. By the time he filed for bankruptcy, I had almost none of the special things that meant so much to me.
Do you know how much it costs to send each of your children to private school?
I assume it wasn't cheap. I mean, that's the whole point, isn't it? It's not for everyone.
$25,000 a year. Did you insist on building a $100,000 underground heated parking garage at your house in Forest Hill?
Objection. Relevance?
Well, Dr. Brooks was under so much pressure to maintain his wife's extravagant lifestyle that eventually he turned to gambling.
Oh, so now we're blaming the wife for the husband's crimes. He committed this crime after they separated, and before that, he could have just said no.
Well, did he say no to the garage?
Originally.
But you persuaded him.
We spent what we spent, and managing the money was not my responsibility.
What was your responsibility? Spending it?
Okay, even if spending the money was her responsibility, what is wrong with that?
I did much more than that, though. I took care of our home and our children.
You or the 2 live-in nannies and the full-time housekeeper. According to your March 2002 visa bill, Dr. Brooks needed to make an extra $21,000 a month just to keep you occupied. Weekly trips to the Stillwater Spa, a first-class flight to Italy, lunch at North 44 2 or 3 times a week.
Your Honor, I've been to Italy. I've eaten at that restaurant. The men in my life don't commit crimes for me.
I'm sure they would if you asked, though. Mr. Ryder, do you have a question for this witness, or are you content to itemize her excesses?
Well, I guess I'd just like to know if she had any idea of how massive the debt was that her husband had to support just to maintain her lifestyle.
If he had a problem, he should have said something.
Can't you just ask to be removed from the record?
What? No, I can't do that because the judge will think that I don't agree with his decision to plead, and then he might not let him do it, and then he'll be released, maybe, and then the guys in the gang will beat him senseless or worse, and I'll feel like shit. You know what? It's like a no-win situation.
Yeah, speaking of no-win situations.
What? Oh, what, Rosemary?
Yeah?
Yeah, no, I know. Hey, look, she can be very, 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 very irritating.
Yeah,
but,
are you kidding? She's a dream.
Are you kidding?
I don't have time to take her to plea court. You're going to be there anyway.
No, I can't because I have to. There's a communication problem between us just at this moment. Plus, I got a pain in my eye. What are you doing?
I had a bill hearing this morning,
Yeah.
but
Oh, you're free now?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. She's free. She can do it. It's a simple plea. Alice will fill you in on all the details.
Okay.
Oh, that's great.
But this wasn't some random attack. The victim was targeted. You should be asking for at least a year here.
But in order to get a year, you have to ask for 18 months. That way you leave the judge room to make up his own mind.
But I already made a deal.
Yes, but then you consulted your senior colleagues who felt your initial position was too lenient. Say it exactly like that, and look a touch sad when you tell them.
But not too sad. He clearly took advantage of your youth and inexperience here.
He says he thinks his client isn't guilty.
Really? Well, you hardly ever hear that.
He's outrageous. He'll say anything.
Not bad. But he's no two-pack. What's the single?
Bada boom, bada bling.
Bada what? You're kidding.
It's good.
We were called to the scene by Mr. Sanchez. When we arrived, we observed a man and a woman in the park arguing. When we pulled up, they both started to run. We apprehended Mr. Perot, placed him under arrest, took a statement from Ms. Bernard, and then offered to take her to the hospital. She refused, which is quite typical in a domestic situation. Also, she appeared to be under the influence.
Drunk?
Drunk, high, probably both.
And Mr. Perot?
Well, he was extremely agitated. I assumed he was drunk, too.
Did you perform a blood alcohol test on Mr. Perot?
No, he wasn't driving.
So you can't for certain say that he was drunk?
He was extremely agitated.
Yeah, he was extremely agitated because he was being arrested for no reason. Didn't Ms. Bernard deny being assaulted?
Yes, but again, that is typical in a domestic situation. And he fit the description provided.
That he was native.
Of a certain height and weight and in a specific location. And I've arrested Mr. Perot on 7 previous occasions. 3 times for causing a disturbance and 4 times for assault.
Your Honor.
The same woman who was with him in the park on this occasion.
Your Honor, any reference to his previous record is inadmissible unless my client takes the stand.
He was just trying to answer your question.
He should be tried on the charges before this court and not on anything else.
It's okay, Mr. Ray. I'm going to exclude it.
Okay. So, let me get this straight. Based on a loose description, and even though the complainant denied being assaulted and showed no visible bruises, you arrested Mr. Perot and threw him in jail. Clearly, your previous engagements with my client influenced your judgment.
My decisions are informed by what I've learned about someone. I can't afford to ignore that information. If I know that someone is violent, I approach that person differently.
Okay, sure. Nothing further.
It's not really a good idea to alienate the police. You never know when you might need them.
Shut it. Who are you?
I'm your lawyer.
Oh, what's her name?
She's busy.
What about the guy who's having a stroke?
She means Elliot.
Okay, what are you guys talking about?
What else causes a pain in the eye? That's how Uncle Dean died.
I don't have an Uncle Dean.
How are we doing there, Miss Dow?
One moment, please, Your Honor. Okay, look, I want you both to shut up because you're annoying me. I touched the crown. You'll plead to possession and we'll make a joint submission of 3 months.
That sounds great. In New Brunswick, I get 6.
What about you?
You're fired.
What?
Are you sure about that, Miss Davis?
Not totally. I don't like her, but my real lawyer has medical problems.
Mr. Sachs, what's wrong with him?
He had a stroke, Your Honor.
No, he's about to. He's got an eye ache. That's the first sign.
Oh, really? Well, you want me to hold you over, just in case he survives?
Well, I just want you to keep my circumstances in mind when you're handing down your judgment, in case you're looking for a reason to be lenient or anything,
Yeah. Okay, go ahead. Arraign them, Madam Clerk.
Okay, before we do any arraigning here, I think you should know that I wasn't even in that park.
Oh, she was there, all right.
Except that I wasn't, and that's a fact that my regular lawyer is aware of, but this one isn't. And that's all I have to say on the subject at this moment.
Thank Christ for that.
Miss Dow?
Mr. Sachs told me they were both willing to plead, Your Honor.
Before or after his stroke? Miss Lewis, help us out here.
Yes. During an undercover sting in Moss Park, 2 officers observed Miss Davis and Miss Lacey keeping 6.
Keeping 6?
Acting as lookouts for the 2 drug dealers who were targets of the sting.
Not me. Her, maybe. But, that's up to our judge here to decide.
Really starting to piss me off.
Be quiet, both of you.
The officers detained both Miss Davis and Miss Lacey, who were each found to be carrying 0.2 grams of crack cocaine, Your Honor.
Yeah, that belonged to my aunt, except it was all a lie to, have me hold her drugs and do that lick-out thing. She's not even really my aunt.
No.
I don't even know
I'm her cousin. And I've never been so ashamed of anything in my whole life because it was her drugs and it was her friends.
I never knew.
I'll tell you, I'm just here as a tourist, Your Honor. I came here to see the CN Tower. That is all. Oh, and an Ice Capade show. But I had phony tickets for that, which I didn't even know about.
Except that you did, because you told me all about it. She had
not.
Raptors tickets, too.
I had no Raptors
She's
tickets.
a mule, Your Honor. She's here to make contacts and carry stuff back to Moncton.
You lying little whore.
Which is something I have never been, and that can be verified by my record. Not one conviction for communicating.
That's right. Not 1, 12.
Yeah, from when I was a youth.
A youth in her 30s.
Okay, not technically a youth, but a youth meaning, somebody who hasn't grown up yet. I grew up late, Your Honor.
You grew up and became a lying little crack whore with no loyalty to her family.
Miss Dow, you might want to send this mess back to where you found it.
Good idea, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor. Shut your cake hole!
But you're earning more than $400,000 a year.
That's not enough. Jen's needs are like a monster that constantly needs to be fed. It's like more, always more. I was jamming 3 patients into each 15-minute time slot. That's 70 patients a day if things went smoothly. That's not the type of factory medicine I wanted to practice, but I needed the money. I was overloaded. I felt guilty. I felt depressed. My only outlet was betting on football. But I had a system. It's only 2 games a week. I studied the numbers, and then it's only smart bets.
No such thing.
Well, actually, just a small objection there. I mean, there's no such thing as a sure bet, but there are smart bets. Buffalo at home to Miami in December +6. See, the success with gambling is patience and smart odds over a long period. In the beginning, I was making like $100,000 a month.
But that didn't last.
No, because, you know, the stress continued to mount, and I eventually folded under the pressure, and, you know, the clinic was falling apart, and Jen kept spending, whether it was a parking garage or a Goya print that was $90,000. Ka-ching, you know.
Did you try talking to her?
You don't talk to a monster of consumption in the middle of a feeding frenzy, pal.
How much were you down?
About $500,000. And I started to chase, and everything exploded. You start chasing, you make stupid bets, you know. Double or nothing, Florida over Florida State. That's just way too hard to predict. You know, so I ended up taking all the money down to Atlantic City, and I just left it on the table there. I just wanted the action, you know. I mean, it's the only thing that shuts my mind off.
So, none of this was your fault?
I didn't say that.
Come on. You didn't intentionally withhold vital information from the bank?
I did not intend to defraud anybody. Look, I was so out of it, I did not know what assets I did have or I did not have.
Oh, were you taking medication? Were you drinking to excess?
No, I didn't mean that. I did not mean that. Okay, look. I wanted money. They were willing to give it to me, and I intended to pay them back as soon as I got things under control.
Oh, you mean when one of your larger wagers paid off? Are you practicing medicine now?
No.
Why not?
I'm not in the mood.
Really? Well, if you're ordered to make restitution, how are you going to do that?
Oh, I was going to ask my ex-wife to chip in.
Oh.
Well, after all, if it wasn't for her, I would not be in this situation.
Well, you do think you're an innocent victim, don't you? When you graduated at the top of your class, undertook one of the most difficult specializations in medicine, and yet you couldn't tell your wife that she needed to curb her expenses just a little.
Why don't you spend some time with her, huh? See if you can persuade her to sell any of that shiny jewelry around her neck there, huh? For any reason. To help me feed Africa. Maybe even stop a meteor from crashing into the planet, huh? Something like that, maybe.
All right, doctor, now control yourself.
I will give you odds. I will give you odds. If she has a choice between those baubles and preventing the end of life as we know it, believe me, we're toast!
Jesus, where were you?
That little park on Bay Street. I was just sitting there eating a sandwich.
Well, did you know these guys?
No, I've never seen any of them before.
You see what's happening? You're not even in jail yet. Can you imagine what happens when these guys get you into a confined space?
When are you gonna start that gang bullshit again? Can I take these out yet?
Well, it's gonna start bleeding again.
Yeah, well, it's better than walking in there looking like an idiot.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, what's going on? Oh, man, look. That looks bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got jumped.
Listen, I need to talk to you, Mr. Johnson, about what your son wants me to do in there, okay? Because frankly, I'm a little worried.
Did you get him a deal?
Yeah, I did.
What is it?
Well, the Crown's asking for 3 to 6 months, okay? But I just don't think that...
Oh, that's all? No, I can't do 6 months.
What does he have to do to get it up to a year?
Well, what's going on?
A year?
What?
Oh, great, a year.
No. I'm going to ask the judge for house arrest, okay? There's going to be a curfew, but he's going to be allowed to
No, but that's no good. He's got to go inside.
What? Why? Okay, surely it's enough for the gang that he just take the rap, right?
Elliot, look, there is no gang. How many times do I have to tell you that? Listen, the only way to make it big is to get the street, and you can't get the street unless you've got a reputation. He's stupid. He doesn't get it.
Hey, be nice, okay?
Look, he's got to have a criminal record to be a star.
Whoa, wait a minute. What, are you kidding me? This is about record sales? Hey, no, you can't do this.
I have to. I don't have a defense anymore. He paid the alibis to say they were lying.
What?
Well, I was afraid he'd back out.
Jesus.
His single is due to be released in 2 weeks, and he's got to look like a real badass gangster.
Are you nuts? He went to Seneca College. His mom's a nurse. You own a business.
I do drywall.
Okay.
Look, you have no idea what is at stake here.
No,
this is the difference between a couple of thousand and possible millions.
Okay.
It's a difference between a house in Scarborough and a mansion in Beverly Hills where fancy cars and people shave his toes.
I'm not going to go shave his toes.
The point is he has got talent, and we are going to maximize it.
I can't let you do this.
You have to. You have to.
Oh, man, those guys worked him over good. I didn't think they'd mess him up that bad. What, you're responsible for that? Hey, I look after my son. You think I'd let him go to jail looking like a pussy? He had to have some of that pretty taken away.
What were you doing in the park?
Just kind of walking through.
Were you arguing?
Brian was yelling at me because I got high and I didn't show up for this meeting he wanted me to go to. Some healing thing.
So he was mad. Did he assault you?
No, he hasn't done anything like that since he stopped drinking. All he does now is nag. Don't do this. Don't take that. Stop taking that. Just try to have some self-respect. Just on and on.
And is that what he was doing when the police arrived? Nagging you?
Yeah. I mean, he's just trying to take care of me, I guess. I told the cops he didn't touch me, but they didn't care. They just took him away. Look, if he'd hit me, I'd have said so. I always did the other times, right?
Can you tell me about some of the other times?
Your Honor?
She brought it up.
Even so, unless Mr. K is planning to bring in a similar fact application, that line of questioning is not admissible.
Like I said, she brought it up, and it goes to why she'd be afraid to tell the police he hit her. She refused to go to the hospital, and she refused to make a victim impact statement. These acts of denial are consistent with victims of abuse, which is why I didn't call her as a witness.
I think the victim's previous encounters with the accused are relevant, Mr. Ray.
I'm not saying anything that gets Brian into trouble. And I'm not a victim. We used to fight all the time, but didn't mean anything.
You used to fight, but he's the one who'd get arrested.
Yeah, because he's a guy. Because I was mad to tell the cops he'd attacked me.
You used to lie. Okay. But you're not lying now, and that's the main thing. So he'd go to jail, and what would happen to you? Who'd take care of you when he was inside?
No one.
And was that hard, being on the street alone?
Sometimes.
Yeah, I bet it was hard all the time. Real hard. So hard you decided you never wanted to go through that again.
Objection.
That you'd do anything, say anything to keep your man out of jail, even if you had to let him give you the odd beating. It's completely understandable. Nothing further, thanks.
Okay, a conditional sentence, some community service, you pay the money back, and then you can start up your practice again.
No. I'm going to find me an island, renounce material possessions, live off the land, only eat what I could kill.
Well, it had better be Toronto Island, because you're not allowed to leave the city. And if you don't start paying back the bank, then you'll get arrested again.
Well, then maybe I have to go on the run. You know, I do have another life.
Oh, yeah? What's that?
The one I haven't lived. Or maybe like a trailer park just outside Vegas, you know, with a showgirl and a little pet poodle. Come on, James. Why would I go back to doing something I've come to hate? My whole life all I've ever done is work. High school, med school, residency, practice now. No. I'm gone. You sure you don't want me to do that exam before I leave? You know, I still got the glove.
18 months, Your Honor. Whoa. 18 months? No. Marcus, Your Honor, we had a deal. My client agreed to enter a plea based on the Crown's position of 3 months.
Actually, it was 3 to 6 months, but I talked to my senior colleagues, and they felt even that wasn't adequate, considering the serious nature of the charges.
Your Honor, if the Crown's office is going to back out of deals made in good faith, the entire system is just going to break down.
And I'll take that into account when I make my decision.
Okay, I'm just saying that the accused need and deserve a certain level of certainty if they're going to enter a plea, right?
Yeah, heard you. Got it. Proceed.
Okay. Okay, just a brief indulgence. Hey, Marcus, you see my client's face there?
Yeah, it's nasty.
Yeah.
What happened?
It's a long story, but the long and short of it is my client is being coerced.
I guess his gang connections finally caught up with him.
No, I told you he's not in a gang. He's being pressured by a gang.
Pressured by a gang he's in. At least that's what the victim told the police. No. It's in the report.
Oh, God. See, I knew I got that from somewhere. Just a brief further, go ahead, a moment of indulgence. Did you pay the victim to tell the police that your son was a member of a gang?
I covered the bases.
Look, now it's got a beginning of a rep. Floyd, I know, but he's also going to jail. What kind of rep can get the boy killed? He's got to have a rep.
Oh, look, he's here.
Never mind.
Don't know.
Never mind. Okay, the victim is lying, okay? But when my client concedes the fact, it's going to turn out that he's lying as well. But there's nothing that I can do because there's actually two more witnesses out there who are prepared to come in and start lying as well. And I don't know what to do because my client didn't do it. But everybody wants the guy to go to jail, including him. And Your Honor, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to ask to be removed from the record because I can't in good conscience do this. Sorry.
He's just saying this because I wouldn't increase his fee, Your Honor.
Yeah, right. If you believe that, Your Honor, then there's some real estate in Fallujah. Maybe you should take a look at it with him.
What do you
Mr. Sachs, what is going on?
Well, you know what? Ask him. No, you know what? That'd be stupid. Ask him. No, forget it. Don't ask anybody. Just send him to jail. That's what they... Listen, hey, Juicy, good luck, okay? Really. I hope you get the mansion. I do. And I hope you get someone to shave your toenails or whatever you want. But you know what? I also hope that you survive.
Are you responsible for all that, Mr. Weeks?
I don't know.
My lawyer told me it wasn't a good idea for me to testify, but I want to set the record straight. I've had problems in the past with drinking and violence, but I've been working on staying sober. I went to St. Mike's for detox, then I went to Name Res. They don't let you in unless you got a letter saying you're clean.
I have letters confirming his participation in those programs, Your Honor.
I've been really trying, Your Honor. I don't know who that guy saw, but it wasn't us. I haven't been violent with Donna in over a year. I just want to help her get clean. That's all I want to do. Just help her.
You were in the park, you were yelling at her, but you did not hit her. You've hit her many times in the past, but not that night, because you're a new man.
I'm trying.
A new man who never gets mad.
I get mad.
Do you ever get jealous when you see her with other guys? There were other guys in that park with her when you showed up, weren't there?
I know sometimes she has sex with men for money. I used to try and stop her, but now I know it's not her, it's the drugs. Yeah, I got mad, but I never...
Where do you live, Mr. Perot?
Where he lives has nothing to do
He
with...
claims to be clean and getting his life together. I think a good indication of that would be if he's managed to obtain an apartment or a room somewhere.
Answer the question, Mr. Perot.
A couple of nights I sleep at the shelter, and the rest of the time I stay under the Gardner.
The Gardner Expressway? Why are you living under an urban highway, sir?
I go there to keep an eye on Donna.
To make sure she doesn't have sex with anyone.
To make sure she stays alive. She doesn't know what she's doing half the time.
And you're protecting her. You're not stalking her. You're not controlling her, and you're certainly not beating her. You're a reformed alcoholic and a reformed abuser who lives under an expressway just because he's trying to help her out. Come on. Give us all a break here.
He was sending an innocent man to jail for 3 months, and that's okay with everyone. And you too, I guess.
No, it's not okay with me, but...
You got the money you promised? 40, right?
20.
Okay, whatever.
She's not going to use that money to buy food.
Yeah, I know.
Look, I'm sorry, but what happened in there?
Sure you are.
It could have gone either way.
Oh, you mean you're sorry for me? That I lost? You just helped put an innocent man in jail?
You want to get something to eat?
What? No.
Really? Because I thought we were making a connection in there.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, but let's go out anyway.
I don't usually date cops.
Oh, is that a rule?
No.
It's a meal, all right? You can pay.
You assume that they're guilty.
I suspect that they're guilty.
Okay, but you interrogate them in a way that supports what you've already decided to be true.
All right? If I'm talking to them, I already have a pretty good idea that they did it. I just have to prove it, and that's why I'm talking to them.
Yeah, and when talking doesn't work?
If I have a history with a guy, and I know that he repeatedly beats on his wife or his girlfriend, I'm not about to give him the benefit of the doubt. I mean, that's your job, isn't it? Soup's getting cold.
So's yours.
You should see the washroom. There's a fountain on one wall and those fancy bowl sinks, and there's enough room to open the door so you don't have to bump into the toilet when you go into the stall.
What? It's a common problem.
You bring her on all your dates?
Usually she is my date.
I was hungry, so I thought I'd come along. Do you have a problem with that?
No.
So eat your soup.
On the next, This is Wonderland.
Any erectile dysfunction from all those drugs?
Well, nothing I'm prepared to talk about.
First inkling? you get on the Viagra program, because you don't know depression until the master surgeon forgets how to salute.
That's next week. I'm Gillian Findlay. The National is next.
Want the fame, it's time to rearrange. Too much people acting strange with clothes, causing change, saying things about to change.